Okay, I'm trying for a second time. Welcome. I think this is working. The phone is so great. I tried to live stream on my computer. It's not working. I'm hoping that this is going to work. I'm on my phone. Welcome. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, June 2nd. This is Thrive Live with Paulina. I am about 9 minutes behind schedule. Apologies for the delay. I was attempting to live stream through my Zoom, but it was not functioning. So here we are. The reason why we wanted to live stream through Zoom is because I have a guest coming on, and which I was very excited about, and I'm going to see if I can, add her if she's here for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's not. Oh, yay, I see Phyllis is here. Hi, Phyllis. I see Brenda. Oh my gosh, happy summer, you guys. I mean, the solstice is not till June 21st, but the kids are out of school. It's so great to be alive. I actually love the summer. I love when the kids are out of school because I like hanging out with them. So a lot of times I hear, parents are like, oh my God, the dreaded summer when all the kids are home. But my phone is trying to reconnect. There it is. Okay, let me see if I can. I'm on Facebook Live. It worked. Yay! Hi, Phyllis. Okay. So today's video, we are attempting for the second time. Oh, Daisy wants to join the live stream. Daisy, say hi to everyone. We are attempting to do the essential oils for pets, which is perfect because I have Daisy here. And Daisy was not feeling her best a few days ago, and she has really bad diarrhea, so I did the Digestin. It's really amazing. You could just put the Digestin directly on their paws. It's so nice to see everyone. I'm liking so many more people are on today. Yay, 6, yes, 7. I'm excited. Okay, before we get to trying to get Marie on to the live stream, let's do an oil shot. So I had this epiphany. I have to share with you this epiphany that I had. I've been posting my videos on YouTube, by the way. If you missed the live streams from the other weeks, they get posted every week on YouTube. So today I will post last week's live. All right, Marie, let's try and see if I can get you on. I see Marie, and I am so excited that she's on. If you could just request to be on, that would be amazing. Hi, Bobby. Oh my gosh, of course. Hi, Bobby. I miss you. It's nice to see you back here. So I had this epiphany. Me and my epiphanies. I had an epiphany last week about all the things that I'm teaching here. Because I've been getting a lot of messages that people are just really happy that I'm back. And I know you guys are really used to me teaching about essential oils and health and wellness, which I'm just going to stay with. But I decided to also do a live stream. These are all the oils I'm going to take this morning, as well, to just talk about all the different ways to stay healthy. So part of the reason why I named this live Thrive Live is because we need to do all the things that keeps us thriving in our life. Essential oils are great, and I think I've said this so many times. It's not the only tool I use to create a healthy, thriving lifestyle. There are other tools like the food that I eat, yoga, weightlifting, exercise, also emotional well-being, the tools that I use to process emotions and that sort of thing. So that is very important to take note of, that I want to teach you guys how to do all of the things, how to use all the tools to create a thriving life, to have beautiful, amazing skin and amazing feeling in your body when you wake up in the morning, so you don't feel achy or, sick. We want to, this is the other thing that I really like to repeat in my mind over and over again. Ooh, yay, Marie, it's working. I'm going to add you, send request. Oh, wait, hold on. Approve. Okay. So only the people you select can watch it. Okay, I sent you the request. Oh no. Oh yes. Yes, we did
Okay, let's.
it.
I
Okay,
gotta get this right.
no problem. Okay, really quick, I just want to finish what I was gonna say. Oh my gosh. Lisa asked what's the YouTube channel name? It's Get Fit with Paulina. Or you can just search like the @ sign and then Get Fit with Paulina, the number one. That's the temporary one. I will change it soon to just Get Fit with Paulina. But just type in Get Fit with Paulina. Marie, you have to turn your camera though because for some reason you are, yep, there you go. You gotta do it that way.
Okay.
So, really quick, I just want to finish by saying I already lost my train of thought because I just got so excited, Marie. This is working. But yeah, so it's important to learn all of the things that create a thriving lifestyle. And oh, I just remembered what I was going to say is, my grandmother, when she used to teach me about like yoga and healthy eating, she would say, I cannot guarantee that you're going to have a longer life. It doesn't mean you're going to live longer. It just means that you're going to have a better quality life, right? And we're either going to like suffer exercising in the gym or at yoga or suffer changing our eating lifestyle in that way now, or y'all are going to be suffering in a hospital 10 years from now, 20 years from now, taking medications, and it's going to be very, very difficult. Quality of life significantly decreases. So let's take an oil shot really quick before we get to talking about Marie, which I'm so excited she's here. I have I have more water than I usually drink, but I am doing peppermint, DDR prime, and tangerine. So peppermint tangerine is like uplifting, exciting, happy oil. I was up so early this morning, did yoga, and now we're here, and I'm doing DDR prime thyroid health. So anything to do with the thyroid hormone balancing, DDR prime is like cellular regeneration, and we need cellular regeneration to function. So here we go. Cheers if you're taking your oil shot with me. All right, so Marie, welcome.
Hi, I'm trying to get my phone propped up here.
Okay, amazing. We're so excited you're here.
Me too. Me too.
Do you guys ever smell the caps to make sure that you put in the right one on the
Right
right
one
bottle?
on.
Okay, we see Diane. Hi, Diana. All right, so the reason why we are doing this live stream together is because Marie is an essential oil expert for pets. Well, she's an essential oil expert, but she specializes in teaching and educating people how to use essential oils for their pets. So, Marie, tell us a little bit about yourself and like how you got into this.
Well, so I started using essential oils a long time ago with my grooming practice. And I came to find out that I wasn't using them correctly with animals. And there was no place for me to learn how to use them correctly for animals until I discovered doTERRA essential oils. And they taught, and Dr. Janet Rourke taught me how to use essential oils with animals. And I'm certified in aromatherapy with animals and through Dr. Janet Rourke. And not all veterinarians, so that not even all veterinarians know what to do with essential oils. So, if you Google right now, are essential oils toxic for pets or whatever, you're going to find all sorts of bad stuff.
Yes.
And the real danger is cheap synthetic oils, plug-in diffusers, and really bad advice. So here's
Yeah.
the truth.
Well, I want to just, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to stop
No,
you right
that's
there
good.
because I want to add this is actually so true with anything that has to do with essential oils for humans, children, and pets. And what I see is the reason why there are so many contraindications and warnings and such for using essential oils is because there's such a huge industry in allowing essential oils to be out there on the market and not be actually safe for us to use topically, internally, aromatically. So this is really important to just take a note. When you see warning signs, it's generalized to the public that's using essential oils that are not pure and incredibly safe for us to use. So we have a completely different approach when we're using essential oils that are safe and that are distilled properly and that are medicinally useful. And I do want to just add in that I'm not affiliated with any specific essential oil company, but y'all know what I love and y'all know what I use. So, all right, take it away, Marie.
So I'm not a veterinarian. Um, I am just educated in the essential oils for pets and diet and nutrition for pets, and I help empower people to be able to use these things and do it in the right way. So doTERRA essential oils, even undiluted, are not toxic. They can be sensitive, because our pets are littler than we are, and cats are a little more sensitive. It's not going to kill them, but it can cause some discomfort. So dilution is always recommended for gentleness, just because it's not harmful. It's just better.
Do you have
So
like a ratio that you recommend? Like when I wrote the kids ebook on how to use essential oils for kids, I typically go with the ratio depending on their age, like a tablespoon to a drop or a teaspoon to a drop. Do you have a recommended
yeah,
recommended?
I actually have a chart that I can put in the comments here, um,
Perfect.
and it'll help clear some of that up, because it depends on the size of the dog, the coat of the dog, the size of the cat, the type of animal it is. I use it on my dogs, my cats, my goats, my chickens. I use them on everybody. So
I love
um,
that.
my medicine cabinet is a big round doTERRA.
Amazing.
I mean, that's my medicine cabinet. So
So let's start with before we get into some of the things that you recommend using, like the regular, we can talk about just the most common ways to deal with issues with pets. And of course, those of you watching can add in questions if you have questions about your pets and what's okay and what's not okay, or maybe some issues they may be experiencing we can help you with. Tell us first, you have a website.
I do. It's natpetwell.com.
Okay, so I'm going to just type it in really quick into the comments while you're telling us also natpetwell.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Marie has awesome, I just put it in the comments for you guys. Marie has awesome PDF files and downloads as well with protocols that you guys can find there on her website. Do you have a private Facebook group or a Facebook page or Instagram or something they can
Let
follow?
me just put it in your I'll put this stuff
Well,
in your in the chat here.
oh,
These
amazing.
links.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I just added your website, and let me see if I can actually pin this comment. I almost think I can. Well, no, we're just gonna leave it right there. Okay. So if you do have pets, we're just gonna talk about the basic. Oh, that's okay. It happens to me all the time. That is what happens when we use our phones for this kind of stuff. Um, so if you are new here, we are discussing essential oils for pets and the safety around using the essential oils. Some of the things that I like to use is I love to use lavender and frankincense. I feel like the calming oils are pretty much my go-to oils when it comes to animals and like thinking that they are safe around those pets. So, and I typically, when I think about using essential oils for pets, like Marie says, dilution is really, really important. And then I also think, like, for the issues and ailments that people experience, oftentimes essential oils have those similar effects on pets. I hear your doggy.
Yes, we do.
All right, so why don't you start off by sharing with us like some of the ways that we can use like the most common essential oils for pets?
So the most common essential oils that I use, my favorite ones, are lavender, copaiba, digestin,
Okay.
frankincense, terra. Those top oils are the top ones. Heliocrisum, I mean, I can keep going on down the top 10. You can get the top 10 on, hey, hush. Thank you.
Okay,
You can get the,
lavender,
huh?
copaiba,
Uh-huh.
frankincense, and
Digestin,
you said Shield, is that correct?
TerraShield, correct.
Okay, wonderful. And Terra Shield.
So
Okay,
lavender,
tell us. Mm-hmm.
lavender is calming for anxiety, storms, vet visits, um, and it's really and it's also an analgesic. Oh, I frozen up.
No, you're good. Keep
Okay,
going.
okay. So it's also an analgesic, so you can use it, when they're itching, you can use it topically, diluted, however you want to dilute it. Oh, there's many times I use lavender straight up on my dogs, but my dogs are used to it, so you want to start slowly.
And so
Copaiba,
where would you put the lavender?
so I would put the lavender on the itchy spot
Oh, okay. What
for
about
sure.
for like
And you can
anxiety or
also do,
stress? You're using lavender for anxiety or stress also?
yeah, and copaiba. Let me get Feeny here. Okay, so with
Aww.
Fanny, with Fanny, I would put it on the tips of their ears. Just,
Okay.
rub it into the tips of their ears because it has a lot of um, blood vessels there. And so it can get throughout the body really well. I also will drip it down the spine and massage it in as well. Oh, Feeny.
So for stress or anxiety or any like itchy spots, you put lavender on the ears and drip down the spine.
And with copaiba. You could use the roller blends.
Oh, okay.
The roller blends are already very pre-diluted, so those would be okay for, dogs as well.
So you're referring to like a lavender that's in the roller bottle already
Mhm.
pre-diluted.
Yep,
Okay, got it. Like the touch.
yep, the lavender touch, the copaiba touch, the digestin touch, also the Tamer Kids Blend. Tamer Kids
Mhm.
Blend is safe to use just straight up.
Okay, amazing. Awesome.
Hmm.
Okay.
And
Um,
digestin is for, and copaiba is also for digestive issues. So that's a good, a lot of these oils are interchangeable. You can use them, you know, you can use, you can use, I've used digestin for my sinuses. I've used frankincense for, or copaiba for digestion or, different things. So frankincense is immune, cellular, and brain support.
okay.
And TerraShield is a natural bug repellent. So you can use it for repellent, but so is lavender. So you can use lavender too or DDR prime, for a bug repellent too.
The DDR Prime I like to use if I got bit because we live in the jungle over here, so there's a lot of mosquitoes. And so DDR Prime is safe to put topically on the dogs as well.
Yes, yes. As long as we're diluting it a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
What about, so you said Digestin and Copaiba for digestive issues. That's interesting. I've never used Copaiba for digestive issues. So do you
mhm.
put it directly on the stomach or the bottoms of the feet?
Yeah, you could do either. You could do it on the tips of the ears, the bottoms of the feet, or the stomach. So when you put an essential oil on your skin or on the pet skin, the body absorbs it really fast. And so it doesn't really matter. There are better places to put it, but with the dog, sometimes you're limited on what you can do. You can put it on the feet because they can lick it and it's fine. Um, so
Okay. Yeah, and also like my dog loves coconut oil. So anytime I use coconut
mhm.
oil, she's just like licking the coconut oil off me. So what you're saying is because I feel like with digestion or digestive issues, I typically put digestion like on my belly button or on my stomach or the bottoms of my feet or underneath my tongue. Those are like the three places. I've never put digestion like on my chest, although I can see how it could be good for respiratory issues, but I've never been like, okay, my stomach hurts, I'm gonna put it on my chest. And so with dogs, are you saying it's different? Like you could just rub the Digescen on the ears and that's going to help their digestive system?
That will, because it goes through their bloodstream to get to wherever it needs to be
Amazing.
used.
That's awesome. And then like for TerraShield, are you putting it on the back of like where like their spine or where would you put TerraShield?
TerraShield you would put on your hands and just pet your dog all over.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Hmm.
wonderful. Okay, I see a bunch of you joining us here. I also see, Pamela. Oh, Pamela just said the former doTERRA mud mask stops itching from mosquito bites for 12 hours. Amazing. Someone is asking for best oils for lice. Thank you, Bobby. Severe dry. Okay, so we have some questions coming in. So if you guys are just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. We finally made the ability for us to do a live stream together, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
Marie here is a essential oil pet for your pets expert. And so we are just going over the top 5 essential oils for pets. We talked about lavender, frankincense, copaiba, TerraShield, Digescen. Those are like the most common ones that you use. Is that correct, Marie?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
And so now we have some questions here. Someone is asking, what would be good for lice?
The same thing that you would use for, mosquitoes, fleas, and lice are pretty easy to kill. They're not very tough critters. So from what I hear, and then normally we don't see lice on pets. I guess you could get lice on pets, but usually
It's
you
more
can
fleas, right?
do what? Yeah, it's more fleas and ticks and mosquitoes and things like that. Now, none of these things will kill fleas and ticks. Okay, so anything that kills fleas and ticks is going to kill life. I mean, it just is going to do it. So some of these topical flea and tick things that you use, um, it kills the flea and tick um, by working on its system to kill it. And it does the same thing for your pets, and it'll harm your pets that way as well. So what the essential oils are really, really good for is repelling. Okay. Once your dog has an infestation of fleas or ticks, that involves some work on your part. You're going to have to, you're going to have to bathe them. You're going to have to flea comb them. You're going to have to pull the ticks off. You're going to have to do this because nothing is just, you can't throw anything on your dog to kill those pests without hurting your dog. So just
Oh,
keep that in mind. So an infestation of lice, you're going to need a flea comb. You're going to need, if it's a dog or a cat, you're going to need a flea comb. You're going to need some oils and shampoo, and you're going to have to. It's going to involve some work, just like
what?
with your kids.
Yeah, oh my gosh, my kids had it like a couple of years ago. It was so much work
Yeah,
to
and
get rid of it.
it's easier to repel it than it is to get rid of them once you have them because you got to do some work. It's not impossible. Fleas come from other animals, and like I live in the country. I have 2 acres. I don't have fleas.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
because it's because I fleas don't just hop around all over the country. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they have to have an animal to survive. So they're going to be concentrated on an animal. Now, I brought some kittens home. I
Mm.
ended up with some fleas. So, then I had to do the work. So those kittens that I got had a concentrated source for fleas that I had to remove. But ever since then, no more fleas. So,
So what about making like a spray bottle like this? I know this is a big one, but if you have a
mhm.
big dog, could you do a spray bottle with DDR Prime and TerraShield? Because I feel like that would be a good thing to spray.
You can, yep. Yep, you definitely can. You can use some witch hazel, or you can use some, just, if you don't want your dog to be really oily, you could just use use the now you have to use it more often. It's not like a topical flea medication that has poisons in it. You put it on your dog and it lasts the whole month. Don't even
Mhm.
get me started about that. But um
Oh,
so it won't last. The essential oils won't last the whole month. The
yeah.
essential oils are going to only last um, for the day or even for a
Mhm.
couple of hours. So when you take your dog out for a walk or something, mist your dog down, just like you would mist yourself for mosquitoes.
Got it. Okay. And
Yeah.
so what's your perspective on they have the pills that they give dogs that the dogs take internally to repel the mosquitoes and I mean the fleas and stuff. That's
Okay, I'm
bad too.
going to, yeah, I'm going to answer that question with the question. If you give your dog a pill and a flea jumps on it and falls dead, or
Hmm.
bites it and falls dead, what does it make your dog?
Um, Probably
Poisonous.
full of poison.
That's right.
Poison.
So the way that those things work is the same way. It gets into the bloodstream, into the skin cells, and it stays that way. So you're hugging the dog, you're carrying the dog around, you're sleeping with the dog, and
100%.
it's 100% poisonous. And those things cause, if you look up, side effects of those things, the side effects can be anywhere from diarrhea to upset stomach to seizures to death. I mean, it
Wow.
depends on the dog's immune system, how much they can handle. Our own immune systems can handle a lot of toxins coming in if they're strong. And when
Hmm.
we get, just like you've taught, when you get cancer or when you get something some kind of disease that your body needs to fight, you need to stop everything that's any kind of toxin because you're
100%.
trying to heal. So you're going to be that way. Your dog's going to be that way. Some dogs' immune systems can handle that kind of stuff. It depends on their over vaccination issue, their diet, there's a lot of different factors. But and some dogs can handle it once, you know.
Hmm.
If I needed to, and I have 5 dogs. If I needed to, I would use a topical flea medicine because
Mm.
I can wash it off. I wouldn't use something that would last all month, you
Got
know
it. Got it.
if I needed to. So if you have to use these things, make sure your dog system can handle it and make sure your
Mhm.
dog's healthy. And just don't take your veterinarian's word for it. I mean, look and see what constitutes a healthy dog. And if you go and get my ebook and
Yeah.
get some of these PDFs, you'll see what it means to have a healthy dog. You can't
Yeah.
just throw some kibble in a bowl and say my dog's healthy because
Yeah.
they're not. You know.
So, for those of you who are just joining us, you can go to Marie's website, which is natpetwell.com. Is that
Well,
correct?
there's another site that I'm gonna send you to,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
trying to find it, so I'm gonna put the link in there.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it.
Um,
We can always
yeah,
add it to the description
yeah,
of
I'm
the video
gonna add
later.
it at the end, so you guys can go
Perfect.
back through the chat. Yeah.
Okay, so we have another question. Severe dry skin on a Yorkie. What to do?
Severe dry skin is an imbalance. You can bathe with coconut oil to soothe that skin, and it's going to be helpful with lavender and coconut oil and maybe some shampoo or a rinse. That's going to be
Okay.
helpful to soothe the skin. But again, you're going to have to get to the base of it. Why is the dog's skin dry? And it can go all the way back to diet. You may need some probiotics. You may need some things to help that Yorkie skin. I see that a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I can always put, you know, a soothing rinse on the dog. That's that might make the dog feel better for a couple of hours, but her skin, the skin is the last defense. And
Mm-hmm.
so when the skin is dry and flaky or oily and flaky, that's usually some sort of an imbalance that needs to be fixed. And I can help you with that.
Okay, so you recommend using, what about Correctex?
Correct X has tea tree in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't use Correct-X for dry skin. I wouldn't. Not on a Yorkie. Yorkies, you're going to end up with just a bunch of greasy hair is what you're going to end up with. It's just, and because of the tea tree, if she has some sort of a liver or kidney
Mm,
issue at this point, it could cause a problem. The Correct-X could cause a problem. It's going to be safer than like Neosporin or something
mhm.
like that, but
Yeah.
it's still not what I would use. So,
So I just got like few days ago, wait, we're on Monday. So last Thursday I got bit by a blister beetle. So that's like, I don't know. Really don't know if they're prevalent or present anywhere on the mainland, but it's like a thing here in the jungle. It's like literally bit me right here in the face while I was sleeping, and a blister beetle, typically it's just like a blister. It looks like a bug bite, but it's like a really bad blister. And then oftentimes
mhm.
it'll pop and it'll be like a burn mark on your skin. And the Correct-X was like that, and Helichrysum roller was my saving
Oh
grace
yeah,
for that. Like took down
yep,
the
for sure.
inflammation. It didn't hurt. It also didn't sting or burn, but it was like it was very, very swollen. Kim, I see you. Welcome. And Boston is here. Yay.
Hey,
Okay,
Boston.
Pamela said she referred her friend to your site. She is a doTERRA user. Amazing. Thank you so much, Pamela. Okay, so let's switch and talk. Anything else that you want to add about dogs before we get into other animals? We're going to talk about cats next.
Let's go for it.
Okay, amazing. So just to do a quick recap, we talked about the safety of using lavender, frankincense, copaiba, DDR Prime, Terra Shield, let's see, a Digesten on your pets. Remember that the reason why, and I'm clarifying this because this video is also going up on YouTube, and I want to just remind people that where you get your oils is very, very, very important. Okay. I do not sell essential oils at the moment, although I am distilling my own essential oils here in Hawaii, which has been amazing. I am making some oils that are not available on the market right now. I can't wait to share that with you guys. But I do have to add that if you get essential oils from the, I don't know, food land we have here, so it'd be like a Ralph's or like a Whole Foods or a Target or a Walmart on the mainland, most likely 99.999% of the time you are getting an essential oil that is distilled using synthetics, alcohol that is not steam distilled or hydro distilled, that then messes with the organic matter in the essential oils that make it safe enough to use on your pets and in your system. So I want to clarify that before we get to talking about what are the oils that people can use for their cats that are safe. Let's get to it.
Okay, so the essential oils for cats, the top essential oils that are safe for cats, no, hands down, no problem at all, is frankincense,
Okay.
copaiba,
Mm-hmm.
Roman chamomile,
Amazing.
lavender. So it's the same, basically, digestion, tamer, some of the kids' oils.
Okay.
So the frankincense is gentle with immune support and emotional support.
Mm-hmm.
Balance essential oils as well for
Oh,
balancing mood
Alan.
and helping to calm. I didn't mention that for dogs. That's good for dogs.
Okay.
Um, Frankincense for immune, cellular, and brain support, just like with dogs. Um, but Roman chamomile is for skin and mood.
Mm.
And you want to avoid tea tree. You want to
Okay.
avoid birch, wintergreen, unless you're being guided by somebody that knows what they're doing. So
What about
I
peppermint?
do peppermint for cats. It would be we can diffuse almost any oil with cats as long as they can leave the room. My
Yeah,
cats,
yeah.
I have the flat-nosed, flat-faced dogs, and so at night I diffuse breathe in my bedroom. And
Mhm.
sometimes the cat will come in and visit after the diffuser goes off, but she would rather not be around breathe.
Mm.
So she can just leave. And
Mm.
my bedroom is connected with an open door to my living room. So as long as she can leave and get away from, the immediate smell, she's fine.
Mm.
Um, so so even tea tree, birch, wintergreen, all of these oils, if you put them on yourself and your cat rubs up against you, don't freak out. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. I promise. I had a customer that had one of those hairless cats, and she would use Deep Blue all the time, her on herself. And this cat just gravitated her with this Deep Blue, and she caught her licking her leg where the Deep Blue was, and she freaked out and she called me, and I said, no, calm down, it's okay. so it's like I said, it's not in dire, oh, let's run to the vet because my cat's throwing up or my dog's throwing up because I gave them too much oils in their food or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it goes away in a little while. And if you put
yeah.
too much oil on their skin, just dilute it with some more coconut oil. It's going to be okay. It might get a little red. You might even get a rash, but it'll go away. It'll be okay.
That's so comforting to hear because, yeah, I do really feel like people just like panic so quickly. I think it's with essential oils in general, not just for pets, but also for, our human bodies. I was speaking with a lady just the other day and she's like, oh, I don't use like more than 8 to 10 drops a day. And I was like, I probably hit 100 drops every single
Oh,
day.
at least.
Like easily, I'm all like either putting it in my water or putting it on my tongue or putting it in my chest or my throat or my back or my
Put it in my
head.
hair. Put it in my.
I'm like 8 to 10 drops. I don't
I
think I
have to
can
tell
live
you.
like that.
So I got the flu on a Sunday,
Okay.
and it was nasty flu. I don't know if it was COVID. I don't care. It was just the flu. So um, by Wednesday, I was done.
Yes.
And it's because, if you keep using, you can't just use your oil once in the morning and say, oh, it didn't work. You use them all day long. I mean, I was
Yeah.
using digestin, I was using everything,
Yeah, 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 yeah. 100%.
So Melissa is just amazing. Melissa oil is my go-to for any virus. But
That's
it's
awesome.
just, it's the same with our pets. It's just, I would use Melissa in a heartbeat on one of my pets that ended up with kennel cough or something. Oop, can I even say that?
Yeah,
But
you can. Here, you can now. Mark
you can,
Zuckerberg
yeah.
supporting our uncensored content.
Right, right. So, it's your pet, your power. All right.
Yes.
You have the power to make the informed choices for your pets. If you're wondering what the informed choices are, just come and I'll help you out with it. I do one-on-ones for people who have issues with regular pets, or
Perfect.
with pet issues, and maybe they have a tumor growing or they have something,
Yeah.
that they really want to target. So I do one-on-one. One I'll do it one time or I'll do it, work with you up to 3, 4 weeks, whatever it takes. So it just depends on your pet and your situation. And the initial consultation is just a form that you fill out, and I can give you, sometimes it it incorporates, some blended oils. Sometimes if you have your own oils, I'll show you what to blend. But
Awesome.
again, choose quality over hype,
Yep.
doTERRA only.
Yeah.
And you
100%.
you can let your pet pick their own oils. Although if I know
Oh,
my pet needs
yeah.
them, yeah. If I know my pet really needs the oil and she's walking away from it, I'm not gonna no, I'm gonna ignore that. But um, your pets can choose their own oils, that's for sure.
You
Um,
know, every oil has a frequency. Like
mhm.
oh gosh, I feel like I could do an entire live stream on like the frequency of oils.
You need to
Every
do
single,
that. That would be perfect. Yep.
yeah, every single oil has a specific frequency. And like birch is like really, really high up there. Rose, Um, and so those frequencies, the pets can sense, like because they have such a very high, this is why we like to dilute the oils because they have that sensing ability. They're sensitive because they can sense frequencies. And just like we can as humans, we're just like not tapped always or necessarily tapped into our intuitive frequency feeling power, but pets can do that, and animals do have that ability. Sometimes, like before an earthquake or something, you will get the sense that something's wrong from your pet before an earthquake occurs. Or, for example, like if a woman goes into labor, like all these things they can sense typically prior to. I'd like a very basic example too. Is I live in a cul-de-sac, and Daisy, she's little tiny, like, this like 4.5 pound dog can hear, you know, someone coming before I even know that they're coming, like that's the power that our animals have. So, we really get, I mean, there's dogs that are trained to deal with people that have seizures. This is why there's dogs trained to smell drugs. So yeah, this is important to understand that dogs can sense that frequency, and they also know how to communicate with us in a way that we can understand, but also they can sense what feels good for them and what doesn't. So yeah, I think just to recap, those oils for cats are very similar to the ones that we talked about for dogs. So we're working with Roman chamomile, lavender, frankincense, digescent. What about DDR prime? Can you use DDR prime on a cat?
Um, I have to check and see that. I'm gonna have to ask about or look at. I forgot what's in it. Do you know off the top of your head?
It's clove, lemongrass, frankincense. I have it right here. Actually, I have a couple bottles of them, and I think I don't know if there's cinnamon actually, but those are the main ones: clove, frankincense, lemongrass. Oh, it has Litsea, wild orange, thyme, nauli,
So you
savory,
could
summer
use it,
saving.
but
Mm-hmm.
because of the clove and a couple of things, you'd want to really, really dilute it. I mean, super.
Yeah, yeah. It's so interesting because Nauli oil we have in its own bottle. You're not supposed to take it internally, but I mean you can use it for your teeth. Nauli's oil is really good for your oral health, like wintergreen. Also, another one that's really good for oral health, but you cannot swallow those oils. But it's here in the DDR Prime, and I'll also, just like you were saying earlier, not to freak out if you're dogs lick your leg or having to lick some oil they're not supposed to be licking. It's like human. Like I drink tea tree oil, or I drink the oil that's not necessarily allowed to be taken internally, and it's just like knowing what feels good in your body and not like freaking out about it. So I think it's more harmful for us to get stressed and have this fear than it is for us to actually be taking that stuff internally. So,
For sure, for
well,
sure.
okay, so let's just
So,
do a quick recap on the oils we cannot use on our pets. We want to, any oil you can diffuse, we want to make sure there's just like an exit for the animal. So there's a
mhm.
door open or an opportunity for them to go into another room or whatever. And then we don't want to do tea tree oil. What else? What else would you recommend? None of the hot oils, not On Guard or clove, cinnamon, none of those. Those are really hot. Same with putting them on topically. I've done those oils topically many a times. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did. Oh my God, I had such interesting experiences with using those hot oils with my kids. But yeah, cinnamon, clove, really hot oils, good for pain, like black pepper oil, but you want to highly dilute those with coconut oil, not for your
You could,
pets.
yeah, I've used the pepper and oregano in their food.
Oh,
So
okay.
the black pepper and the oregano is good for parasites like worms and stuff. So you could use it in their food. You just don't want to put a whole drop in there. It depends on the dog. You
Oh,
definitely
okay.
don't want to put it on top of kibble, but.
Oh,
That's where
okay.
you need my guidance on that. So.
Yeah, you can do the toothpick method is what I usually do
Mhm.
with oils that you don't want to do directly drop of. You just like slide a toothpick into the bottle, slide it out, and then mix it with whatever food that you're giving them.
And
So,
if essential oils were truly toxic to pets or cats,
yeah.
even,
Mhm.
we'd see massive poisoning reports, and we don't.
Yeah.
We do see damage done by poor quality oils, misuse, fear-based information, and
Yeah.
that actually stops parents from accessing powerful tools, guys.
Yeah,
These
100%.
things are really powerful, can stop us from having to run to the vet for antibiotics or something like that, that we can work on ourselves. So,
Yeah, 100%. Well, Marie, thank you so much for joining us today. I see that Marie put the link in the comment section, natpetwell.com/NPW. You can just go to the website. There's another one. It says payhip.com/natural pet wellness connection. Whatever links you'd like to
those
find.
are, yeah, those are the downloads um, for the book, ebook, and the PDFs that I have.
Okay,
And I'm going to put a coupon in here for everybody that's
amazing.
on the live, a coupon code.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna take
And
you off the camera and then we'll just continue for a few more minutes before we end today's live stream. Thank you so much, Marie, for joining. You can find Marie on Facebook also, and whatever links or Instagram, YouTube, whatever you put in the comments section so people can find you. Yay! I'm so happy you were able to join. And this worked. Bye. Okay, let's
bye.
see. If it works, you may just stay along with me. We had an interesting situation this morning. We were trying to get on live through Zoom. So sometimes my buttons work and sometimes they don't work. But for those of you who are still watching, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been so very educational and informative. Just keep in mind that, we want to use the best essential oils for our body, for our pets, for our babies, for our system. And it allows our bodies, and actually does the exact same thing for your pets, allows your pets to heal themselves. And that's what we're doing as well in our body, is we are healing ourselves. Remember, all these tools that I'm teaching you is not mean that it's doing the actual work on healing your body. That's not what they're doing. The essential oils, the food, the this, the that, no, the exercising, the yoga, that's not where the healing is taking place because of those things, which is kind of could be a little confusing because we use those things as a tool, but we are actually using those two things to create a thriving environment in our system. This is my number one goal, is to teach you how to thrive, to create a system in your body that is thriving. That means every single cell is following instructions according to how it's supposed to work properly, and everything is feeling like optimal capacity, optimal ability to function in your system from head all the way down to your toes. And guess what? We are in a life, in a society, in a world, in a place where we get thrown off balance. We get thrown into the trenches. We get thrown into all these different situations where we get thrown off balance. We eat food that throws us off balance. We have conflicts and emotional disconnections that throw us off balance. Same with your animals. We have digestive issues. We have physical pain and ailments and conditions that throw us off balance. What we want to do is use these tools to bring us back into balance, so then we can heal ourselves to create this optimal, thriving environment. That's what I'm here for. That's it. Period. End of sentence. All right, you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who join, I'm here every Monday. It's summer now. My show is called Thrive Live. If you missed the sessions, please go to YouTube, follow me on Get Fit with Paulina. And I have yoga videos coming. I have Pilates videos. I have weightlifting videos. I'm doing those. They're all in the process. So just patience with me as always. And those are coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you next week. Yay!